So, Mike, here's the deal, right? Here's the deal.
N APE.
Been watching all this Kanye bullshit that's going on, man. I mean, let's just break it down, all right? Kanye West is in a situation.
Hold up. It's yay.
Man, fuck that shit. He's Kanye West.
It's yay.
He can eat a dick if he doesn't like the way I dress it. So, Kanye West wants to build his own mini-city called Ecosystem. This is just another one of his manifestations of, manic, bipolar, just ridiculousness popping out there.
You think it's ridiculous?
It's 100% ridiculous.
To make your own little...
No, it's just that he's trying to do a million things all at once, and he's just promoting it, and he's shitting on people, and he's burning bridges, and he's trying to create new ones, and he's doing all this shit at the same time, going all over the place.
But he's got that money, though. He could do it.
Yeah, but it's not about the money. It's about the decisions he's making. Like, they make no sense. They make no sense, bro. Like, anyone who's in business, like, people buy
the ecosystem.
Oh, he's a genius. All right, well, Jeff Bezos is a much bigger genius, and he's not doing ridiculous, stupid shit like that. He's not burning his reputation and then trying to rebuild it, every 20 seconds when he goes on air and says some ridiculous shit. Like that.
Yeah, but Kanye is extremely outspoken, though. That's just him.
Bro, he's bipolar.
I mean, now he is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he has manic depression. Like, what are we gonna do? That's how he acts. You know what I mean? He has Trevor Noah. This is Trevor Noah, right? Yeah, Trevor Noah's this.
Kanye doesn't fuck with Trevor Noah.
I don't fuck with Trevor Noah. He's a fucking dork.
He's on some woke shit.
That is the least funny man on earth. But
he's a comedian?
Yeah, he does this daily show bullshit on Comedy Central.
But I didn't know he was a comedian.
Anyways, look, here's the deal, right? So basically, Trevor Noah...
Get to it.
Trevor Noah is basically saying he doesn't have beef with Kanye West. He says he doesn't have beef with someone dealing with a mental health issue. And my response to that is like, fair enough, bro.
True.
Because genuinely, it's like, come on, bro. This guy's fucking ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways,
I think anybody cracking on Kanye now, like, it's like, come on, like, at the end of the day, he really does have, like, he
does. Yeah, this is another issue. There's a neuroscientist that incredibly intelligent, like one of the most intelligent people I've ever heard, speak. His name is Sam Harris. And basically...
We've talked about him,
yeah. And Sam Harris, he's a very intelligent man, but he says that, you can't excuse his anti-Semitism, that his anti-Semitism is dangerous and it's reckless.
He talked about Kanye?
Yeah, he talked about it. He says it's dangerous and reckless. And granted, he's a Jewish person and his wife is Jewish. His children are Jewish by default, right?
Got it.
So, I mean...
Sure.
I understand the concern, right?
Why do people get offended? Like right now, if someone said, like...
I don't think he's offended.
You don't think he's offended?
No,
you think somebody with that much power and money speaking like that, saying things like that is dangerous?
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm saying that...
I don't. But him,
Sam Harris is saying that this is, that it is potentially dangerous, because it promotes the anti-Semitism, right?
I mean, of course, I don't agree with what Kanye is saying, but it's still freedom of speech. Like, yeah, let him be an asshole, let him speak, whatever. Fuck it. If he wants to be an asshole, he's an asshole, I guess.
What this is about. It's about the Jewish question. That's what it's about.
What's that?
The Jewish question is this idea of, like, why are Jewish people so successful? Why do they own this? Why do they own that? Right? This is the whole thing that leads to
that's Kanye's whole thing, I guess.
This is what leads to the conspiracy theory that Jews run the world or whatever, right?
They run a lot of it.
That they run business, they run finance, they run Hollywood, they fucking run the media, they run this, that, and the other, all that shit. And then it's like, oh, they're planning... some sort of shit where, like, they, all the Gentiles and the non-Jews, they're going to end up, basically as, like, slaves, and the New World Order is run by Jews and all that bullshit, right?
Sure.
And that sort of shit, right?
Okay.
Which I really don't, I don't buy. I think it's an issue of, elites making those sort of plans. I don't think it's a Jewish phenomenon. I
don't think we should censor him, though.
No, I don't think you should censor anyone.
Like, sure, what he's saying could be dangerous. I'm not disagreeing with that, but
what fuck with me is what they did with his bank account.
Right, and we talked about that last episode.
Right, because Kanye West's bank account at what bank was it? All right, Chase, JP Morgan. They fucking
said, coke dealers.
Yeah, they said, fuck this shit. We're not doing this. Right, you can't be here. You're anti-Semitic, so you got to find another place to bank at. And I'm like, well, this is a dangerous road to go down.
If they could do that to Kanye.
Yeah, Well, I think they did it because it was Kanye, right? They don't want somebody with that high level. Like, they don't give a fuck about some redneck, you know?
But
for now.
You could look at it that way, but you could look at it like if they'll do it to fucking Kanye, a billionaire that probably
No, you're right.
puts money in this account fucking daily by the
Yeah, you're right. No, you're
millions.
right. You're right. They can do it to anyone.
They will definitely do it to Joe Schmo that will not put any money in their account, like in their bank, and bank with them and shit. But
I agree.
So that's the real scary thing. And Drink Champs putting down the episode, like, I mean, I guess Kanye said a bunch of ridiculous things, and he said some cool things too. That was honestly that was pretty cool. But to just censor him though and put the episode down, and then like you gave him your platform to like speak your mind about it.
I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm surprised, but like to actually do it is like, come on, dog.
Yeah,
like,
it's weak.
Then it's like, I don't know. I thought that was weak as fuck. Like, and I genuinely do like Drink Champs. Like as much back as that Nori, as soon as the backlash came in, like he decided to put it down and shit.
He's also facing a lawsuit, by the way.
He's not. Kanye is.
Yeah, Kanye is one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kanye's facing a lawsuit by the family of George Floyd. They want to get $250 million.
They're not getting that. Let me tell you that
due
right
to due to him saying something like that. You know, Floyd died from fentanyl.
He didn't even exactly say that. He's
Right.
not winning. They're not winning this case.
Yeah, I feel like it's very unlikely, but
I'm betting my life on it.
yeah.
You know what he said exactly? He literally.
I listened to it. I just can't recall the exact
They hit him with
words.
the fentanyl. Like he said it so quick and so like it was so vague. It's not like he literally said, "Hey guys, George Floyd died from fentanyl." Like he could have meant it in so many ways. And bro, Kanye, like I said, he has bipolar. Like you're not gonna win that. This man has some sort of mental issue.
He does have the mental issue, and it's like it's unclear to me how much responsibility to place on him versus the mental illness, because there's no clear way of saying like, well, this is where we draw the line. Because on the one hand, he's competent enough to manage all these businesses and manage his
I don't
affairs.
think Kanye is crazy though.
No, I don't think crazy, because the thing about a word like crazy is it doesn't really explain anything.
It's too vague.
It doesn't mean anything, especially like, for example, in psychiatry and psychology, like crazy, that
That could be so many forms, right?
it just doesn't mean anything. It's not a word that's used to diagnose or anything. It just,
of course, yeah. It's just some like that's like a standard word you just say for someone that's a little
it's
off
just
their,
shit that people say when they don't understand someone. They just label them crazy.
That too. But I genuinely don't think Kanye is crazy, bro. He might have some like something going on with him, but
I don't think he's completely illogical with the shit that he says or anything like that. I just think he's manic.
you just think he has manic episodes?
I think he's manic and he's having a very difficult time, like you know, deciding, all right, let me just manage what I say and don't say. He's sort of just letting it all out recklessly, not giving a fuck about the consequences for him, for his family, for his career, for other people, because he's just having that difficulty regulating his behavior.
He's buying Parler, or I think he bought it. Parler is a app that I believe is for conservatives. And like it's like on some like freedom of speech / like Truth Social, like you could like they're not banning you or whatever.
Well, I want to address, and I know we're talking a lot about Kanye, but there's just so much shit going on with this guy recently, right? The other thing is that he was in an interview with Piers Morgan, and he addressed something related to wokeness, especially related to the straight white male shit, right?
I heard some of that.
And he said, for example, that there's nobody that gets judged more than a straight white male. The straight white male has the least amount of a platform to even speak.
Damn.
So that's his quote. And I think that's part of, he said that might have had something to do with him wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirt.
Damn. In a way, I feel like there could be some truth to that.
I think it you know, it's all about perspective, right? Because I can think about it. I know you already have in your head like this idea of like, what would a woke person say to that, and what would a conservative say to that?
Right.
Right. And you have this idea of like the liberal or the woke person would say, for example, hey man, you know, straight white males, you mean the people that own all these companies,
They're privileged, blah blah blah. Yeah.
the people that have all these resources, the people that you constantly see on TV, that they're, you know, all these TV shows and all this shit. It has a bunch of white people and white movie stars and white this and white that. And then the conservative can be like, yeah, but you can still shit on that guy, right, and shit on his race and shit on him for just being a straight white male, you can't really do that with any other race because you'll be in some shit. But that's the only, person that you can do that with, right?
White people definitely have it harder when it comes to the racial, like, if they say anything slightly towards that could seem a little racist, it's lights out. Like, they're coming out for you.
I think society's been trained to see racism everywhere.
I mean, racism is always going to be a thing, though. So, like,
but people are, like, looking for it, like, even when it's not there. Like, they want it to be there.
Yeah, microaggressions, all that dumb shit.
Yeah, so it's just...
That's looking for a microaggression?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but anyways, yeah. The other thing that might be happening that might be interesting is the issue with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right?
Yeah.
She's a congresswoman from New York, in case there's somebody that lives in Guatemala hearing this shit. And basically what happened is that she was at this sort of like a town hall meeting, and apparently she had some people from like the other political party, and the people were chanting things like AOC has got to go, and they were saying shit like vote her out. And there was this woman who was like real pissed off. Like, you could see it, like her fucking veins were popping out, and she was saying, "There's only 2 fucking genders." She needed to get that out.
Jesus.
And then there was like people on her side. So there was some dude with a like extremely gay voice. He was like, "We love you, AOC. Thank you." So that happened. At some point, the lights got turned off, and she sort of left for a second in the background because it was like, I'm a politician. The lights are turned off. This is not
good.
And then, AOC, she was doing like some Rosie Perez impersonation. She was like, all right, listen, okay. Like, she was doing that.
Really?
Yeah, she did that impersonation. It was like cringe and weird, and it was like she didn't know what to do. And
there was way too many like conservatives in there,
and they weren't like letting her talk exactly the way that she wanted to. They were like chanting over her and shit, and
That's
it was.
fucked
But she was saying some stupid shit.
Was she?
Yeah, she was addressing like one of the issues she was addressing was like crime in New York, and she was talking about social workers and psychiatrists, and I'm like, yo, the dude has a gun. Like, what are you talking about? We do that later. You don't fucking do that like
before.
You're not gonna address crime by sending a fucking psychiatrist somewhere. Like that's a long-term thing, but it's not really gonna solve the problem, bro.
We need to put the psychiatrists out in the field.
Yeah, if you have a fucked up environment, you're not gonna solve it by giving people diagnoses and fucking mental health treatments. That's not really. That just, first of all, that sort of presumes that the issue is like a mental health issue.
That's actually funny as hell. That could be a bit where like the government sends like a bunch of psychiatrists out to the hoods.
Ridiculous.
Just to deal with like, I don't know, troubled teens and like.
Fuck out of here.
That would be insane.
I don't know, man. It is pretty ridiculous, but.
AOC though, dog. Shout out to AOC.
There's also a situation that continues to come up with this shit that's happening in Ukraine. And I know it's been talked about so much that people are like, oh, fuck this Ukraine.
What's going on with Ukraine?
But, bro, I'm seeing right now what happened. There's a U.S. Army division that's on the border. It's a few miles away from Ukraine, right, on NATO territory.
Okay.
And basically they're doing all these drills and shooting from tanks and helicopters and shit like that.
There?
And they're right there, and this is the U.S. military there, 101st Army Division, whatever. And
you're lying.
And you already have Putin, who's like saying that he's willing to use nuclear weapons if it's necessary. Obviously, I still think, even though I know Putin wants everybody to think that he's crazy and that he's not logical anymore, he doesn't want to use nuclear weapons. He doesn't. He wants to win the war, not fucking end the world. He wants to be the guy that Russia remembers as like, oh, he got us on top again. He made us number one,
You don't think he's about that?
No, I don't think he's going to do it. No, I think the most, if it really, really went down to it and he was willing to use it, the most he would ever even consider doing is using like a very small nuclear attack in a certain small part of Ukraine. But for the most part, it seems like his strategy right now is to just destroy the infrastructure, like just fuck up the bridge, destroy the buildings, fuck up everything so that they don't have the ability to like handle, the war.
Right. Damn, dude. Fucking... that would... World War III, bro?
Be the shortest war ever.
You think so?
Fuck yeah.
Immediate nuke?
Yeah, it's immediate annihilation. If it was a genuine war, unless we just agreed to these like ridiculous terms where it ends up sort of like in Afghanistan where it's just, you know, drone strikes and shit like that.
Right.
And we agree like, all right, no bombs, but we're just going to do this. But we got to find out another way to solve these things.
Without nukes?
Without nukes, because nobody wants to use them.
Of course. Because it's kind of like a suicide mission.
It's mutual deterrence, but we don't know how far some crazy fuck could push it one day. It's like, for example, if Fidel Castro had nukes, I know he would definitely have used them.
Come on.
No, the Cuban Missile Crisis was not fucking around. Like, he was going to use them.
I've heard about that, but I don't really know much.
Dude, he was going to use them.
He had nukes?
So this is the thing, right? So it was like the Soviet Union was going to import these nukes and give it to Fidel Castro, and he was there. And then Kennedy finds out about this because they see it over aerial images of like flights over there.
Okay.
And once he finds out, he's like, first of all, he had to tell the nation about this. Can you imagine going like, yo, there's nuclear weapons 90 miles from the Florida Keys? Like these guys.
He said it in a speech or like.
He said it. He announced it basically, right? And then he went over there and he told Nikita Khrushchev that it's like, yo, you need to call this shit off, buddy. This is a problem. And Nikita was like, you're right. This is fucking insane. Because part of the thing with Nikita is he wanted it to be low key. He didn't want anyone to know. But Fidel Castro wanted to like brag about it. He wanted to be like, we have nuclear weapons. Don't fuck with us.
He was gassed up.
Yeah.
And when did Fidel mention that?
Fidel didn't mention it. The U.S. found out about it through some aerial flights that they had, like some.
Right. So and then Kennedy said the speech.
And then Kennedy had to announce it, and it was a state of complete national emergency and like paralysis, because it's like, what the fuck do you do in that situation? Everyone's thinking, is the world gonna end today? Like, what the fuck is gonna happen?
What was the after effect though?
Well, the after effect is like you see what happened, and you see how the '60s were. You know, people were constantly, there were like all these drills in schools. It was the Cold War. It was this like tension between one side of the planet and the other.
Right.
Where it was capitalism versus communism.
Damn. That's World at War, Call of Duty.
It was mutual deterrence on both sides because we both had nuclear shit. It was just that level of tension in the world. And like now we sort of thought we got away from it, but we're still sort of there.
I mean, it's worse now.
That's what I'm saying. We're still there. We still have that. And now there's a situation where it's escalating through Ukraine, because Ukraine isn't a NATO country, but now if it applies
They're
for NATO...
They're trying to be though, right?
The thing is, if you accept NATO into that, it's like you're saying, we're at war. Because the thing about NATO, you attack one of us, you attack all of us.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, I don't know. What are you going to do?
What does Russia got?
China's half-assing it. They're like, we got their backs. And to some degree they do, but they don't. It seems like they don't want to commit too much. But
they're trying to figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah, but they're committing, though. They give them, like, they have troops for them and shit, and they're, like, selling them shit. You know, it's like...
Now that you're bringing this up, I seen on Twitter there was some percentage stat bullshit saying that American men are too weak, like the army men that we have. Like, we wouldn't stand a chance against Russia and China, against their troops or whatever. It was some bullshit ass post.
Those dudes need a reality check.
But yeah, I forgot where I seen it. It was like Say Cheese TV, like some rap like blog type shit.
I don't think they understand the level of savagery that exists in the ranks here. We got dudes that are seriously not fucking around.
Of course, bro. Dude,
I don't think they know. They don't understand.
Robert O'Neill, the dude who killed fucking...
Yeah, they must not understand the SEAL Team 6 dudes.
They're on point.
Yeah.
Dude, they went and fucking murdered Bin Laden and just...
Yeah.
They did that shit with so much, like, finesse and just... Yeah. They actually did it.
Anyone that's thinking the U.S., like the soldiers here are weak and shit, they need to fucking stop zipping that Russian vodka. Get back to reality, you know, stop, you know what I'm saying, like licking, you know,
I mean,
Putin's cock.
I'm sure troops from everywhere are very,
Yeah,
they're troops, bro. Like, they've fucking been practicing to do this shit.
Thing is, the U.S. military has invested so much time, energy,
more money,
effort, research, everything than anyone else. It's
ever?
Like, yeah, it's not even there's just no competition here.
I mean, we have the most
Yeah,
Brad,
by far we spend way more on military shit than any other fucking nation. Like, it's
Which
not
is needed.
Yeah, it's not even close, especially now. This is the other thing. It's like other countries and shit, like their politicians will be free riders. Like NATO countries and shit, like they'll spend like some goofy ass amount of their GDP.
Okay.
And then the U.S. has to make up the difference.
To pay for the rest.
Right. Yeah, because we're the biggest military force in the world.
And of course they're going to ask us.
And these people are not meeting up quota agreement in NATO where it's like certain percent of GDP has to be spent on defense, on the military industrial complex.
And
right?
sometimes they don't meet it.
Sometimes, no, they fucking don't meet it. They just don't.
Shit. And I'm assuming those are like fucking countries that are just doing bad and shit.
Nah, bro, it's European countries. They're doing great.
Oh, it's European countries.
Yeah, it's mostly European countries, you know?
Shit. Damn, that's a trip, dude.
So I don't know what to say, you know?
Dude, I don't even have that much topics.
Doesn't matter.
Did you see the Cuban mayor that gave hands to the protester?
Yeah, so in the city of Hialeah, which is, you know, city that has more Cubans than anywhere else in the United States.
Yes, sir.
There was a mayor in the 80s. Back in the 80s, this shit was wild.
Raul Martinez?
I believe.
I'm not
and
sure.
This mayor, he just, you know, there was this protest going on.
On the Palmetto.
Yeah, on the Palmetto, right on the highway. And so, like, what ended up happening? Explain it, Mike. Go for it.
Apparently, I don't know what the protest was about, but it was just a bunch of Hialeah dudes protesting, I guess, on the Palmetto. And the mayor, the video starts and you just see the mayor running up to one of the protesters and just start giving some body blows, like doof, 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 doof. And then after that, the video ends. Like, it was from an Instagram video. Post fight, like somebody's interviewing him type shit. Like if he just won a fucking boxing fight and shit. They're like, yo, what was going on there or whatever? And like he was just like, oh, you know, man, I was just here. I came to check out the protest or whatever. An individual put his hands on me, so I had to, you know, he just decided to hit him.
Right, but apparently nobody put it there.
But yeah, it was complete bullshit. It was like he was literally lying on camera. And he just ran up to a protester and just started decking the shit out of him.
So this mayor was basically beating the shit out of somebody that probably voted for him.
I mean, I don't know. It could have been a protest against him, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And then the funniest shit is that somebody commented saying that she was the wife of the dude that was getting hit by the mayor. And then she commented saying, 20 years and we still don't know why he ended up hitting him or whatever. Some base that shit. And yeah, dude. It's from like a Hialeah page on
People
Instagram.
get wild. I mean, I was telling you about how mayors and shit, some of them be taking drugs and shit.
Yo, have you seen the fucking, the newest dude that's trying to become mayor in New York or something in New York?
No, what is it?
Oh, dude, I gotta look this up. This is legendary. This guy needs our votes. Hold up. It's a dude that is very open about sex workers, and he wants to decriminalize it. Therefore, guess what he did? To show his respect for so much sex workers.
He went to one?
No, he made a porno.
Oh, he made a porno.
With the sex worker. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's running for, hold up, New York porn. New York porn is not a good thing to search up. What up?
Oh, yeah. That's the spot right there, yeah.
Oh, Manhattan congressional candidate publishes a porn video. His name is Jerry Nadler. Oh, no, Mike Itkes.
Man, that is hilarious, that name.
He's running against some, that other guy said. And he wants to decriminalize, he wants to legalize sex work.
Fuck out of here.
That's pretty swag.
Yeah.
The fact, but on some real shit, like what are we coming to?
I don't know. I mean, I agree with it from a libertarian perspective, you know?
No, I agree with that. We should legalize sex work, but like doing the whole porno video, like you could see this man get it.
That just seems ridiculous. Like
you could see the man getting it in, like.
Yeah, I think that doesn't make any sense. Like this is a moral decay that we have here, because I know it's a stupid thing. It's really inconsequential, but the problem is people don't see it that way, and then they take him less seriously. They take politics less seriously, and if he gets elected, they take our institutions less seriously. And this is
so you ain't with Mike getting down?
I'm just not with with our institutions becoming a joke.
No, of course.
Because that really leads to political problems.
Damn, he banged a baddie though. I won't lie.
Anyways,
No cap.
you beat off to that shit later, dog. We got shit to talk about.
No, I'm not watching it, but we could watch it, but
chill.
we could watch Mike get it, you know.
On the other hand, you know, I think you've told me before you've never taken a psychedelic ever, right?
Never.
No.
I'm sober. Well, psychedelically.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But not weed. But yeah, never done a psychedelic, dude. And I don't know.
But you're curious though. I know you are.
Of course. I think everybody that does drugs or something is pretty curious about psychedelics.
Yeah, because you hear about the experiences and the sort of like ways that people perceive the world on it.
It's like super normalized now type shit. So yeah, of course you get curious. But I don't know, bad trips scare me.
I mean, think about it though. Like, just think about the sort of change in mindset that occurs on psychedelics, you know?
True.
I mean, if you were to like do the ultra dose, if you were to take the 5 grams
Terrence
of
McKenna?
Yeah, the 5 grams of mushrooms in silent darkness, right? Which is not for the fucking like, this is if you have balls of steel if you do this, is what I'm saying, right?
Bruh, I would fucking be terrified.
Yeah, it is.
If I smoke some weed, like, I could smoke, like, I'll probably smoke till I'm, like, I don't know, I could probably hallucinate if I'm just in the dark the whole time.
Yeah, don't do that when you're on mushrooms.
On mushrooms?
I know Terrence McKenna used to say that, like, he smokes weed to calm down from it. It's like, yo, I don't know what the fuck he's on. Like,
wow, I seen a video of a little bit of it. He did, like, ayahuasca mixed with some other shit. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, this dude is just eager to do, like, he's mixing fucking psychedelics and, like, that's insane.
He I mean, this is part of the movement of what you call a psychonaut.
Okay, sure, gotcha.
Which is basically a psychonaut is, I mean, the astronaut explores outer space.
You're
the
right.
psychonaut explores his inner space. And what he does is he shifts his consciousness using substances to explore how his own consciousness can change and to explore what the limits of human experience are, you know.
You don't think he did it too much, though?
No, he definitely did it too much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard he ended up having a tumor.
But he was amazing. Yeah, but that
had nothing to do with it.
I highly doubt it. I mean, psilocybin is like neuroprotective. So, no, I don't think it had anything to do with it. If anything, it would have been worse if he didn't take any of those substances. I mean, yeah, so he tried to tell his doctor that the tumor was related to him smoking so much cannabis throughout the years. The doctor was like, no, dude, that makes no fucking sense.
You don't think so?
I agree with the doctor. That makes no fucking sense.
Okay, I mean, I don't know shit about...
Yeah, I don't see how weed can cause a brain tumor. It just doesn't make fucking sense. But anyways, the whole idea of that, because he had an amazing perspective about psychedelics, because he had so much experience with them, and because he was so good at discussing and explaining what he experienced. This is one of the amazing things about Terrence McKenna, because he was so amazing verbally that you can break down things that...
His trip and shit?
That no one else can sort of discuss using words. I mean, he would talk about it like how human language is too limited to communicate certain ideas, and that we would need like a new tool.
Do you think so?
To be able to directly communicate, because so much is lost in translation. When you have this thought, if you have a thought about something, you have like all these, you have this visual image going on, you have this idea of sort of maybe, you know, the actual small details of everything that's going on, sort of like in a dream, right?
Okay.
And when you explain it to someone, their visual image, once you put the words out for them to hear, is completely different.
Obviously, you're not going to visually see exactly what they said. They're going to try to...
Now, try doing that with an experience as intense as psychedelics, right?
So you said he was extremely good at...
Extremely articulate at explaining psychedelics. I can't think of anyone better, ever.
Is there... I'm assuming he's the most famous psychonaut?
He's extremely... Yeah, if you're a psychonaut, you know who Terrence McKenna is.
Who's others? I know you talked about Timothy Leary.
Timothy Leary was definitely a psychonaut. Ram Dass was also a psychonaut to one degree or another. He was on some hippie shit as well, so there's also that. Yeah, Dennis McKenna, Terrence McKenna's brother, he actually became an ethnobotanist. He's still alive.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and so yeah, there's a lot of psychonauts out there.
That's a hell of a life.
Yeah, part of it is the fuck up that happens on psychedelics because it makes you. There's things that you know are impossible.
Sure.
Right, that you know, like this is the way the world works because you make certain assumptions. Like you get out of bed, you assume the floor's still there, gravity's still here,
right.
All of this shit is still happening.
Just based off everything you've done in life. It's just what you.
So you're completely trained into that mode of seeing the world.
Yeah.
What psychedelics do is they completely dissolve that boundary. They completely get rid of all of that shit, all of that programming. I mean, they dissolve
during your trip.
Yes,
okay.
They completely dissolve it. It's like your hardware, right? All of your hardware, the part of your hardware that has to do with assumptions, not memories. You're not going to forget your previous life.
Gotcha.
You will during the trip, but you'll remember everything.
Okay.
So what happens is you sort of end up in a situation where first thing that happens is you're dealing with this complete change in what you consider to be true. And so things that you think are impossible right now, you can experience it. So it's one thing to say that, like, you know, it can be 3 o'clock and it can be 4 o'clock at the same time. Because if you hear that, you're like, okay, that's impossible. That doesn't make sense, right? But then during a psychedelic trip, you
might experience that.
You experience it. So it's one thing to say it, but to actually experience
even if it's a form of hallucination.
Exactly, and you know that it's you
like you're seeing it. That's your view. Like
right.
There's no.
So you're experiencing this, and at the same time, you're saying this can't be. This doesn't make sense. How is this possible? You're trying to like wrap your head around the impossibility of what's going on around you. And
that just blows people's minds.
It fucks with you because if it was just that, maybe you could just wrap your head around a distortion in time, but it's way more than that. So in a psychedelic trip, you might, if you're at the point of ego death,
right?
Because this is the scary part. It's getting to ego death. That's the scary part, right?
That's when you just let go, right?
Yeah, because once you're dead, there's nothing left to fear. Right.
That's the idea of ego death.
Right.
Okay.
So it's getting to ego death. It's this idea of I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
People get like anxious.
That's terrifying to people, right?
Right. So, especially if you're not in the best mental state.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Salvia comes from Mexico.
Yeah, it's just a fucking plant.
And the effects last from 30 minutes to an hour. Okay. That's I would never take salvia. Fuck.
Yeah, I would not recommend some shit like
what the
salvia.
fuck is morning glory flowers?
So morning glory seeds are similar to they have a substance very similar to LSD.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
I've never really fucked with that shit because it's like easy to end up getting poisoned or some shit because like people buy those flowers and they're usually meant to be like planted. So that shit might have like fertilizer or something.
Oh no. And
you don't want to just eat that.
Fuck. Dude, I would I don't even know what I would even take. That's such a scary step.
There's other psychedelics that are like sort of stupid psychedelics, I would call them.
Okay.
Cuz they're like visual but stupid. It's like everything is warped and like there's the body high. It's like
I know people like to sniff like certain things to smell and shit. That's like some I forgot.
I don't know if it was 2CB or 2CI that I had taken that time. It was ridiculous.
How could you even just sniff a fucking like bleach or like that's some other shit. I remember they used to put that in like middle school videos and shit. Like on some Dare shit. Dude, you know Dare's still alive?
It's on life support.
Dude, I went to Panda Express and I seen Dare, like a Dare table with a girl outside. I was like, no way. So I had to ask something about it. I was like, oh shit, Dare's still around, huh?
Did you light up a blunt?
Nah, no man. I should have though, but I was like, oh damn, Dare's still around? And she's like, oh yeah, she talked to me some shit about that we're still around and then that we're accepting donations.
I bet that bitch is getting high off work.
When she told me accepting donations, I was like, oh look, sorry, I just don't got no cash on me, and then I was out.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck Dare, bro.
How do you feel about the New York accent, bro? Do you think mine is like effective, or is it like
It's pretty there, dog. You're not bad.
the fuck out of here?
Yo, not to cut you off, but I seen the wildest shit. I just remembered. I was watching Shark Tank today,
Yeah,
and there was this. You seen Shark Tank?
yeah.
Okay, so you know the whole idea. There was these dudes. Their product was like
I just want to explain because some people might not know what the fuck that is. Like,
okay, Shark Tank is like you gotta explain, guy.
Shark Tank is a TV show where there's like 4 billionaires sitting down.
Usually 5.
Yeah, around 4 or 5.
5,
Yeah,
6.
right. So there's billionaires sitting down, right? And then somebody who's an entrepreneur goes up and they have a product or a business or something.
An idea, something.
And they want to present it because they want that billionaire to give them money
To invest in it.
Right?
Yeah.
So what they want is a partnership, business partnership.
And so throughout the whole episode, they debate with others. They try to get the best deal they can. Sometimes they don't even get deals. But yeah, whatever. So one of the dudes I was talking about, he had a product that it was like for fishing, and I guess it's like for bait. And it was like a mechanical fish that looks like exactly real, like an actual fish. They had like different sizes and shit. So whatever. That's not even my point though. My point is, I heard the craziest, like, I think it's called euphemisms. Is that how it's pronounced?
You mean a euphemism?
A euphemism. There you go. That's like saying something in a different way or in a different word or whatever. I heard someone say the coolest one for like saying somebody died. So whatever, this guy was presenting his store, like his product and shit, and he was talking about like how him and his dad used to fish when he was younger. So like how this product's like important to him, and like he thinks about that. And then like the way he said like that his pops passed, he was like, yeah, me and my father, we had good times, this and that, and until he concluded his human experience.
The fuck?
When I heard that, I was like,
What kind of hippie shit was that?
Yeah, and he wasn't no hippie. He was like a regular ass like civil dude, but like I was just like, I've never heard someone saying like, yo, that's how my dad passed, man. Like whatever. He's like, yeah, that's how he concluded his human experience. I thought that was hard.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest ways to
George Carlin used to have a skit about shit like that.
About what exactly that?
He's like, for example, like back in the day, they used to call, when soldiers came back and they were all traumatized and fucked up from war, they called it shell shock. Right.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen this bit.
And now they call it post-traumatic stress disorder. Right.
And like
right.
restrooms, you don't really rest. It's not a room to rest in. Like they just have all these dumb names. I think he had one about that too.
And he was like, so for example, people of a greater age. It's like you're an old fuck. You're old.
Right.
Your shit doesn't work anymore. Your cock doesn't get up. You know.
Yeah, I fuck with him. I've seen a couple like little videos on YouTube.
The kindergarten entrance exams, for example, right, where it's like fucking these kids are not allowed to grow the fuck up. Normally, it's like you have to practice for your pre-K entrance exam, and he's thinking like, when the fuck does a kid just get to play with a fucking stick anymore? You know?
That is true.
Does this kid even know what the fuck a stick is? You know? So that type of shit.
Damn. Yeah, he was dope. People consider him like on some.
He's a legend in comedy and stand-up.
I feel like he was just like, preaching more.
He was incredibly creative though. Like especially if you look at some of his older stuff when he really blew up, it was the 7 words that you can't say. Right? Because on TV there were these 7 words that you just can't say. It was like piss, cunt, shit, motherfucker.
All right, ass or some shit.
Shit like that, right? And he was like, well, I'm just gonna say all of them and just fucking make a comedy special saying all of them and tell you to fuck off. This is free speech. Eat a dick, right?
Yeah, that's probably in a time where like they were against free speech and shit. Dude, fucking Uncle Luke saved hip hop.
Is that so?
Of course, bro.
Out here in Miami?
He's the fucking GOAT, bro. If it wasn't for him, he's the reason why parental advisory.
Oh, that's right.
Like he literally went to fucking court against the government. because like I might butcher it, but like I know it was based on like his content was OD wild. You've heard like
it was all it was real
titties,
it was titties and ass before titties and ass.
Yeah, like it was nothing but titties and ass in the videos, bro. This man had his I think he had his own club.
It was pop that pussy shit, you know. That's
and he would like, bro, this club back in the days in Miami was popping. Like everybody was out here, like, and I'm talking about like young people, like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, like just getting down to like late as fuck. So whatever, Uncle Luke got big or whatever, and I don't think parental advisories existed yet, and. I forgot what their case was. They were like, oh, this is bad for kids, blah, blah, blah. You know, the typical shit. But he ends up fucking winning. And then that's what invented the parental advisory. Like, that was literally after that. They had to, like, if you're going to have some, like, mature content, it has to be stamped on it.
Just let people know.
And that's it.
I'm like, all right, fair enough, you know.
If he didn't win that, shit might have went left, bro. And probably in music, period.
Yeah.
But mostly hip-hop, because hip-hop...
I think it was a worthy fight. Like, you should have the right to be able to say whatever the fuck you want and then sell it as a product, you know? It's like,
your fucking words. Like, who the fuck cares? Like... But yeah, dude, if not, dude, hip-hop would have been probably extremely censored.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows, you know? But I think it always would have went in the Supreme Court or something like that. You know, I don't think they would have... The Supreme Court would not have...
Right?
Disallowed some shit like that from...
It's too obvious. Like, come on, freedom of speech.
Clearly. It's like the first thing. First Amendment. Right. So, anyways, it does kind of remind me of, like, these kids when I was in fucking high school. Like, bro, some of them... Like, I remember this one situation where I was about to go to class, you know, in high school, and there was this kid, he had, like, these fucking brownies and shit. He's like, this is a weed brownie, bro. And...
Yummy.
And I'm like, stop fucking with me. That's a weed brownie? And he was like, yeah, it's a weed brownie. He's like, you want one? Because he was, like, giving them out. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want one.
I would have been pussy. And
I'm like, can I have one? And he's like, yeah, you can have one. And I fucking just munched that shit, like, ASAP. And then he tells me in class, like, yo, there was nothing in that. I was just fucking... I was like, bro, fuck you. There's 2 hours left in this class.
Motherfucker had your hopes up.
Fuck that guy. Anyways, and I would
if he would have never told you, you could have had the placebo effect, probably.
I was starting to get a placebo effect, but then I was like, this isn't anything.
This ain't it.
But bro, what I'm getting at is, like, these kids were on some bull. Now that I think about it, the level of bullshit these kids were on in high school is fucking wild. Like, I remember these kids in class, they would, like, go to... Bro, you're like 15. You were sneaking into Ultra.
Oh yeah, of course.
And taking Molly and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Where like,
that was our high school days for real.
But I'm thinking, like, bro, you're 15 and you're popping Molly's. Like, what the fuck are you doing to yourself?
Ultra was lit, bro.
Bruh.
One of my boys used to sneak in every time and just be out there.
This dude's balls dropped 5 minutes ago. And he's out here taking Molly.
I mean, is Ultra still as popular as it was back then?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's more popular back then. That's me, though.
Nah, it was just the vibe that because we were around all these fucking dorks that were popping Molly and shit.
Okay, probably.
And now I'm not that guy.
Nah,
I'm not that guy. I'm not about to spend, like, racks to be surrounded by strangers on drugs. If I want to take drugs, I'll take drugs by, you know, like, with other people that I fucking know.
Dude, and if you're not on a Molly, standing up there for that long...
No, fuck that.
That shit is tiring. Bro, I've been to a concert. I went to the A$AP Ferg concert, and I was about to die, bro. Like, I was getting lit and shit, having fun, but I needed some water, bro. Like, that shit was like $6-7.
I feel like a concert will be dope for, like, a little bit, bro, but not for I don't want to be there for 5 fucking hours listening to music.
I think mine's was, like, probably, like, 3 hours, 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that after a while for me, it gets, like...
It was too tiring, though, like, standing up for that long and, like, people were just fucking moshing and shit like crazy.
Yeah. No, I don't like that mosh pit.
You're not in that?
No, bro, because I just don't... I like knowing where I'm at. The thing about a mosh pit is that nobody knows where you're at. Nobody knows, all right, are you doing this just, if we're having some fun here, or are you pushing it a little bit further?
There's always going to be the pushers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What are we doing here?
You got to clock one of them, yeah. Like.
And then, I don't like that.
Of course, nobody.
I'm like, look, I respect you, you respect me. If we don't, then we got to do something about it. I'm going to try to address it peacefully, but if you try to escalate the situation, if you try to put your hands on me, I will fucking dislocate your fucking balls and stick them up your ass, bro. Do not do that shit.
Respect, dog.
You have to do it. You got to set some boundaries in life.
No, for sure. You got to.
You end up like fucking Sporus. You don't do some shit like that. You got to set boundaries.
R.I.P. to Sporus, dog.
We never really even covered Sporus.
We didn't. We never put out that episode, right?
No.
Let's talk about him, dog.
We should, right?
I mean, Kev's not here. Wait, Kev's not even here. We forgot to mention.
Bro, I'm fucking sad, to be honest with you, dog.
Yeah, we needed our Mexican buddy.
Kev, if you're listening to this, bro, I watched like 5 hours of Mexican documentaries, and I was going to talk to you about them.
Just Mexican content,
and I'm fucking pissed off that you're not here, because I was going to cover Mexican history with you.
And we couldn't do it without him.
And now I'm very butthurt about that.
But yeah, where is Kev? Question mark.
So Kev, bro, please come back.
He'll be back soon, guys.
All right.
But
the story of Sporus.
Get to it. I forgot some of it already. I know he was he was a slave. He was getting raped.
Way worse.
He was getting raped by his dad or some shit.
All right, let's put it like this. So Sporus, yeah, he was basically a boy that was bred to look like a good bitch. You know what I'm saying? He was basically a slave, right?
Right.
And basically what they did is there was this guy who was the emperor of Rome at the time called Nero. And Nero, he had a wife, and his wife died. I think the rumor is because he beat the shit out of her when she was pregnant or something like that.
God damn.
And he had other wives as well. And he actually had this one husband where he was playing the role of wife. Even he was dressed like the groom.
Damn.
I mean, like the bride at the
cross-dressers
at
even
the
back
wedding.
then?
Yeah, so it was that type of shit. Yeah, and this was the emperor of Rome. So it was you know what I mean? So you could tell how people thought about sexuality way differently back then, right?
Damn.
So anyways, this guy called Sporus, this slave that we're talking about, Emperor Nero, in ancient Rome, he decides, that one looks exactly like my deceased wife.
Oh,
and that kind of, turns me on or whatever.
Hey, yo.
And he got Nero. And Nero got Sporus, the slave, and basically he castrated him, right?
Damn.
And so after he castrated him, he basically, he married him, right? And he would make sweet love to Sporus. And Sporus was basically playing that role his entire life. And then what happened is Nero ended up, he ended up committing suicide basically by force because it was his only option. And what happened to Sporus after that? Well, Sporus ended up with another emperor who also ended up turning him out.
Oh my
right?
God.
And then he ended up somewhere else. And then he ended up with this other guy who was not about to do anything because he just wasn't interested in fucking, castrated boys.
Right. He was a normal dude.
Yeah, he wasn't into that. So basically he was like, listen, what we're going to do to you is
throw him in the water.
We're going to kill you, but the way we're going to do it is by recreating the way that Nero killed his wife. Cause
God damn.
So the guy was like, I'm good on that. How about I just kill myself?
Just let me off it right now, bro.
I'm just going to kill I think that's the better option. I think you'll be satisfied because I'm dead.
Dude, he had some bad luck.
And I won't have to deal with that. So he killed himself.
Right? How did he? You don't know how specific?
I forgot the specific method he used to kill himself, but it sucked. His life sucked. It was terrible.
Damn.
There was nothing good about that life.
Dude. Yeah, I would have wanted to kill myself too.
Bro, that is a terrible life. His whole life consists of being bred to get fucked by men and be castrated and then be murdered because you incidentally happen to have been,
born by a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, you were like married to this fucking asshole.
Damn.
And then that guy committed suicide. You get tossed around by other dudes, and then next thing you know, they're threatening to kill you, and so you kill yourself.
And how do they have this documented? How do they know this?
I mean, this is part of they had historians back then as well.
True.
And there was like common shit that everybody would end up knowing about in ancient Rome because this was like the elite. This wasn't like just peasant shit, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was documented. There's not much more that we know about Sporus.
Damn.
And then also, I want everybody listening to this think about it. How, like, just the fact that his name is Sporus, like, that fucking sucks, right? But then everything
his name
else
sounds like a fucking, like, something that has to do with like plants or like some type of fucking
like mushrooms and shit,
or something in the field, like in the
mushroom spores.
Yeah, some shit. Damn, that is a bad name.
That fucking sucks.
Dude, he had it bad. That might have been the worst life ever.
That dude was getting tossed. How do you think he felt like that? Like, bro, he was getting fucked in the ass by dudes. He was probably getting mouth fucked and gagged and fucking nut in his ears and shit. Just fucking brutalized.
You think they were fucking crazy back then? Even
No, bro. This Nero guy was fucking insane. I'm telling you, he was fucking his ears. He was like fucking, you know, he was doing all types of shit. You know what I mean? He was like, he was...
Sporus was mentally slaved after a while, but he was just like, hey, man, this is my life.
I don't know how he coped with it. Like, I wish he had a diary or some shit, you know?
That'd be a fucking...
I'd read the fuck out of that shit.
Hell yeah,
bro. Like the fucking diary of a castrated...
Imagine he was just the most positive dude ever. Just kept it thorough still. Like, fuck
if
it.
he was like a stoic about getting ass fucked his whole life.
Like, it's life. Fuck
damn,
it.
that would have been...
He would have been that dude.
Dude,
Nietzsche would have been proud of that guy.
Nietzsche would have...
But, damn, Sporus, yeah, he lived a bad life. And how old was he?
He was young when he died, but they don't have the
exact
age. Yeah, they don't have the age documented. He was a slave, so people didn't really give a fuck when he was born or any of that shit. It's like...
What do you think about the idea that people are mentally slaved?
I mean, propaganda exists for a reason, right?
Yeah, but even on a more basic...
That people enslave themselves mentally through the way that they think about shit? Just
in general, the way they live life. Kanye was saying that we're slaves to, like, capitalism. That we're addicted to appearance. We're just mentally, it's just a thing that we're just... It's in us, like, you know what I mean?
Well, Terrence McKenna would say that institutions are there for the benefit of the institutions themselves and for the goals of the people that are in charge of it.
Okay.
And that basically whatever the system is, capitalism, socialism, communism, whatever, it's there for the benefit of itself. He says institutions are disempowering, that they take away from what's most important, and what's most important is the felt presence of the individual.
Right.
Your own experience, not what's happening to Michael Jackson or Bill Clinton, but what's happening to you, your center, your life, your experience is the most important thing.
Of course.
And he says that institutions have told us, no, you're not important, you don't matter. What matters is what's happening in politics, what's happening in the world, what's happening with the economy.
Damn.
You are secondary to this, and you need to incorporate yourself in society and act as though you are less important than all of this because you are. And he says that's the wrong thing. The right thing is to make your experience matter again, to open up the doors of your own perception, get in touch with your humanness, with your own felt experience by altering your consciousness and by looking at the different ways in which you can experience whatever's out there for you to experience.
I mean, sure, he could be saying that, but what about people that are just not informed of those type of things?
Yeah,
in a way, aren't they mentally slaved? Because since they don't know, like, I mean, Terrence McKenna, I'm assuming he's a very smart guy.
I would agree with that statement.
So, I mean, not everybody's going to be as smart as him or be able to even...
No, not at all. I don't think it requires much intelligence, though, to sort of drop... I mean, for him, if you talk about him, he would talk about, like, the archaic revival.
Okay.
Archaic meaning something that's, like, extremely old.
Okay.
And he's talking about the archaic revival because if you look at, like, for example, the people in Peru, the shamans, right? The shaman is sort of like the doctor, the healer, the spiritualist, the person who's enlightened inside of whatever small group of people there are.
Right.
And this person lives alone, secluded, by himself, isolated, and then when people need help, they go to him, and he offers it to them.
Okay.
Right? And basically, he said, we need to return to this being in touch with nature shit, where we use these plants in order to enhance our consciousness and in order to think about what our place in the universe is, to think about what direction humanity should move forward in. We shouldn't be disempowered by culture, because culture is just your operating system. It's your programming. And if you're being programmed by someone else, then you won't have space to be able to make your own decisions. You'll be having decisions made for you.
Yeah, but not to cut you off, but at a time like this when everything is social media and people are easily, I feel like people that are very, very independent thinkers and like that don't fucking listen to anything that's just any type of bullshit, any type of news, any type of just that'll fuck your mind up. I feel like that's such a low amount. Like, especially at this time with cell phones and all type of vices that people have now.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very hard place to reach at times like this, and probably will be even harder with how technology expands.
Well, when he was talking in the 90s, he was saying shit like, don't watch TV, don't read magazines, don't even listen to NPR. Create your own fucking road show. Do it on
I've seen that video you sent me. He was saying that in that video.
Yeah, so when he says shit like that, I struggled with that for a long time, because Terrence McKenna helped me out a lot when I had my first real shock with ego death after that trip that you saw me experience. And then, he helped me out a whole lot, because he was able to, first of all, explain what was happening to me in a way that made sense of it.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily...
You kind of related. You felt like, oh, shit.
Yeah, because when you come out of that trip, you're like, there's nothing here.
Right.
I'm left at zero. I'm a blank slate.
You can't explain it to somebody. No one's going to be able to get you.
I don't know if reality exists, if it doesn't, if everything is an illusion.
Right.
If you don't know.
Then you hear this guy just talking things that you just like, wow. Like,
he sort of puts it in perspective, and he really tries to cope with the fact that, like, we don't fucking know.
And that's just...
Right? No, his thing is nobody knows jack shit about what is going on. Not the president, not the fucking senator, not the fucking scientist. Nobody knows jack shit about what the fuck is going on.
Phones are a huge distraction.
Yeah, they can be, it's...
Think about it, like, phone screens used to be so small.
Yeah.
Now they're fucking, like... just huge. Like, it's impossible to, like... I go through that shit. Like, I feel like I be going through my phone way too much. Like, I don't even need to be going through it that much. Like, I'm a slave to it.
No, it makes sense. I mean, it's a habit.
I think,
it's a habit. Like, you get trained by it. The algorithm is there to train you. Is there to, like, release these little dopamine boosters, and so you keep searching for the next hit of dopamine. It's sort of like a gambling addiction in many ways.
And it's infinite.
Yeah, it's infinite. That's part of the thing. Yeah,
since it's your phone, like, you could just log in, do whatever the fuck you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's like the smallest dopamine hit, and like it's like a drug.
Yeah.
And it's like it's made so nice. Like, Steve Jobs really made a fucking...
No, he mastered it.
He mastered the drug. Like, he took LSD. Well, I mean, he'd been figured out Apple, but the fact that he was even just a LSD head, he was an interesting dude. I seen like a little documentary
and
about
yoga as well.
He was heavy into yoga. People used to say that he used to smell like shit.
He had a, from what I hear, like, when he died, the only book that he had on his iPhone was Autobiography of a Yogi.
Yeah, he was into all that. He went to India.
He went to India
for a little while.
Yeah, he did his yoga, meditation, all that shit.
I think he met with a shaman too.
Yeah, so he had been initiated.
Damn. Right. He got on his pretty sure he was like on an extreme diet. I think it was a fruit diet. Mm-hmm. And I think that's literally why he died. Like, he was in such bad conditions because of his diet.
Yeah, I think it was something in his digestive system that he got cancer, right? Like,
could have been that.
Yeah.
And in a way, it sucks because it felt like I felt like he just did it to himself. Like, I think he could have prevented it.
I feel like that diet was ridiculous. It made no fucking sense.
Man was just eating fruits.
Yeah.
You need some type of protein, right? Something.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. But yeah, Steve Jobs was he was cool. He was interesting to say. He wasn't even like I actually like something Kanye said in that Drink Champs interview. where like I don't know, I felt like I agreed because like Kanye was like saying like how Balenciaga, like that's the best designer, period. And he was like, and then Nori was like, what about you? Yeah, what about Yeezy or whatever? And he was like, nah, I will never disrespect the guy who actually goes to school for designing, who studies everything, who does this, who does that, XYZ. Like, I'm just a visionary. Like, Kanye was just saying, like, he didn't really go to school for it and this and that. And I just feel like I'm on that on some music shit. I feel like a lot of people go to music, which is nothing bad, but respect to you. Like, I just learned everything from just YouTube videos. So I'm not the most efficient, but yeah, I don't know, I just thought that was a clever way to like he was saying he's the visionary. Like I might not be the guy who knows how to do this and that, but like I could get it there.
Yeah, that was the Steve Jobs scenario, right?
Dude, that's why I said
He had Wozniak, who was like the actual computer scientist.
I literally said that because of Steve Jobs, and then he said, yeah, like bro, Steve Jobs, he made Apple, but he wasn't even a fucking programmer. So that was like the comparison he was trying to make. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's true, dude. Like Steve Jobs just had the vision.
Like he knew how to code and shit, but he was not the guy that was like,
he wasn't
about to like make the hardware himself.
Right. That's what he meant. And like, yeah, dude, he just had such a, I don't know, Steve Jobs had good taste.
Yeah, he understood how technology could relate to people.
I don't know what, and bro, these shits were charged way more than fucking regular, and people still went out and got them. And Apple is just like the most expensive, the richest.
It's the largest. It has the largest market capitalization.
It's a trillionaire now, right?
It's more than $1 trillion.
Yo, that's insane.
I think it's about 2 point something or 3 trillion. I don't know because the stock market has been dropping and shit. So I could try to find out the market cap.
Dude, you imagine having $1 trillion, bro?
So the market cap for Apple is 2.37 trillion. It actually went up on Friday by 2.71%. So, dope.
People are gonna just keep buying iPhones, bro. Wait, how long did we go for?
An hour and 7 minutes.
Okay. What do you think? We done? Or you wanna?
Yeah, we could be done. I mean, the last thing I would just say is like, man, the Terrence McKenna shit. The amazing thing, I spent so much time listening to this man that I figured out exactly what I disagree with.
What is that?
You know, like his idea about culture, right? He's like, don't consume culture, you have to create culture, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, this is an impossible task you're asking here. It's like, you want me to be an empty slate in society and then create something.
That has to come from something in a way.
And it's like, this is not the human, like, you're not recognizing human nature here. You're sort of isolated from it, right? In a way. And then there's like the idea of, what do you call it?
Maybe he didn't mean it like exactly. Maybe he meant it like metaphorically.
It's unclear in many ways exactly how he meant it. I know he was serious about the archaic revival, right? And humans being much more connected to nature, as opposed to just becoming, you know, because the thing about technology is technology makes culture much easier to consume. And it puts nature in the hands of humans. Because nature, by design, it's not controlled by anyone.
Right, it's just there.
And so humans are the ones that use nature to create technology. And technology created by humans, institutions, corporations, because we rely on them.
Right.
We stop relying on nature, we end up relying on the technology. But if we rely on the technology, we end up relying on the institutions, companies, corporations, individuals that control how that technology is distributed, how it's delivered. And so our lives become something that's in their hands. It gets away from nature. It gets away from being in the public domain of the universe and existence. And it gets in the hands of these people. And this is how technocracy develops and how propaganda becomes much easier to spread through social media and shit like that.
Shit, I mean, eventually they're just gonna keep making buildings and shit, right?
Yeah.
You think we have enough, like, space? Like, when do you think it'll get too crowded?
I don't.
Nah? I mean, I know Elon says
It's gonna top at about 9-point-something billion people, and then it's gonna start going down.
Why?
Because people are not gonna fuck as much.
Really?
Yeah.
What study is this?
It's just the trend. It's the overall trend. Like when women are become educated and shit like that, they think twice before they marry someone, for example. And then when they do marry, they end up having less kids than in less developed nations because they're like, all right, there's no reason I have 9 fucking kids. Like, this is ridiculous. And they have birth control, so women's reproductive systems are become in their hands.
They've always had birth control.
No.
I mean, obviously,
it changed a lot about women's lives because it put like their own reproductive system in their hands.
Kanye is against that.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot for that one.
He always brings up Planned Parenthood and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like, fam, no one's making them go in.
There is that too. It's their choice.
It's your fucking choice. That's the whole point.
Is it true that black babies are being aborted more than...
Yeah.
That's wild, though. That's a hell of a...
I mean, the percentage of Americans that are black has stayed pretty much the same at 13%. The percentage of white people has pretty much gone down.
I hear that's like a thing that, like, I guess the socialists or the left or the woke, that eventually the white race will become... There'll be more black people, more mixed people.
Yeah, the white people will become a minority.
Right.
Soon.
Is that a...
It's the trend.
People will say anything, bro. Like,
it's genuine. No, it's a trend. It really is, and it's like the projection is that that's gonna happen.
And people are scared of that.
I mean, there's people that are scared of that.
It's like, okay, like...
Yeah, I'm just... My thing is like, what is the reason for that?
The reason why to be scared of that?
No. What is the reason for the trend?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, why is it happening? Because if it's happening, if that change in demographics is happening, that means it's coming from other places.
People coming from other countries.
Having
mixed babies.
Right, and so they're talking about like, oh, this is our country type shit. Mm-hmm. Right? Which I think happens everywhere. I don't think this is like a white, straight American male thing. I think this is like a nation thing.
Eventually, everybody's gonna be mixed.
Yeah, like for example, in Mexico, they kick out Cubans all the fucking time. They're like, no, not here. They do that in all type of countries. All these other countries, like ask Finland how many fucking Africans they're gonna take. It's like no.
Right.
Right. So
why though? Nah, maybe.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. There's these countries there.
They're racist.
Like, yo, they'd be like, no, we're not taking any. Fuck you. Or we're taking very minimal. Or we're not taking the black ones. We're taking the fucking Ukrainians, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah.
That's everywhere, though.
There's a situation where the president straight up said it. It's like, we're not taking any. No, we aren't. No.
Man's just blunt.
And I was like, bet. Okay. I don't know what to tell you, fam. I feel like it doesn't solve the problem. People like for example, you can take as many immigrants as you want from Africa. Like, yo, Africa is still going to be in its own situation. Like, moving those people out, what happens to the people that stay there? What do they have to deal with now? If you're taking all the best minds out of that country and you're putting them here and you're educating them here and they're not going back there to improve that country, like, what happens there?
Yeah, that country
stays stagnant.
Akon City is coming out soon.
Based.
I swear to God, he's building I heard he got a credit line from China.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, you can always trust China.
He got a credit line from China, and now he's building a city called Akon City in Africa, and I think he's providing, if I'm correct, I don't know, free electricity and I think some water or some shit.
I mean, that's pretty dope.
There's people actually hating on it, though.
Where is it? Where is it going to be located?
I don't know exactly. I got to look that up, but it's in Africa.
Because China likes to bribe Africa.
Do they?
Yeah, what they say is like, we'll build all this infrastructure and shit, but you like give us your fucking soul. Like, you're in so much debt now.
You think Akon's doing some dirty laundry shit?
I don't know what Akon's doing. No, I don't want to say that.
No, I'm just playing. Nah, but hopefully he's not, but he's doing something cool though.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's called Akon City.
I mean, that general outline I fuck with.
He's from Africa, so fuck it. And it's just, people are just would hate on anything, bro.
No, bro, I think the issue is like, besides all the bullshit about like whether or not the immigrants should be coming here and all this bullshit, like the idea should be that those countries should be improved, right? And not where there's this huge shift in demographics because they feel like their country just sucks. The people give up on that country and just transfer to another place, and then the people that stay there get left behind in a country of misery. I'm like, this is not the solution to anything.
It's in Senegal, by the way. And he has a website. Just look at it.
That looks insane. That's like Dubai on acid.
In Africa, bruh. Like, what the fuck? Just look at these buildings, bruh. Like,
yeah. Fuck, bro.
Shit, Akon's on that.
Anyway, so what's up?
What's goody?
You think we had a good one?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we're still recording, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. How could we end this off swaggy? Did you listen to what is it called? I took the walk.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was that's just viral, dude.
That's beautiful.
You could be like, I took my cock to Thailand.
Pushed it to the limit.
That's the remix right there.
Dang, you can make a beat out of that. Push it to the limit.
I'll do that.
Thailand. Lady boy, you know.
There's not that many lady boys.
All right, guys, look, we've told you the story of Sporus.
Yes.
That's about as far as we'll push it to the limit.
Guys, it's V and N APE.
All right.
We're out of this bitch.
We're honored to have you aboard.
Swag. Deuces.
Peace.